It was September the 11th, 2009, 11:15 a.m. I drove into the car park at Sainsbury's, as I often did, and sat there for a while. Got out, walked to the nearest hotel, the Ibis Hotel, and it was one of those days, you probably know those sorts of days where it's dark and gloomy, the threat of rain is constantly in the air, the wispy, dark, looming clouds were slowly being blown across the sky, and there was a melancholy about the day. I walked into the hotel, past the reception desk, straight into a lift, and went up to the top floor. I got out, I walked along the corridor. There was a large fire exit door at the end of the corridor with one of those metal bars across the front. I pushed it and I found myself in a chamber, a concrete chamber with concrete steps going up even further. I continued up the steps, the click clack sound reverberating around the hollow chamber. I got to the top, another heavy set of fire doors greeted me. I pushed that open and I found myself on the top of the roof of the Ibis Hotel in Stevenage. Now, I spent the whole day on that roof, a good 6-7 hours, with what felt like an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other. One telling me not to do it, the other saying do it. One giving me reasons to stay around, the other giving me reasons to go. Thankfully for me, on that day, I got down, went back to my family, didn't speak about it to anyone, until that is about a week or two later. We had some friends round for a dinner party, and 3 or 4 of us went outside to have a cigarette, and I brought this up very tentatively. I said, whatever you do, don't tell my then wife, but I need to let you know. And I briefly let them know what went on that day in 2009, September the 7th. And there wasn't really a conversation. I just briefly told them that I'd been on a roof for a whole day, and then the conversation went on to something else. But the one thing that sticks in my mind was when they were leaving, one of the guys said, and I overheard him say, "Oh, he's just doing it for attention." Now that was the one and only time that I spoke to anybody about that day, and there's a stigma around mental ill health, and suicide is the biggest killer of men in this country under 35. That's a serious statistic, and it's a shameful statistic because it's a preventable statistic. We need to change the narrative around suicide and mental health. Suicide is always the last call for somebody that has most probably had mental health issues up until that point. It's preventable, and it is not an easy way out. Anyone that says it's an easy way out is incorrect. And also a selfish act, it's incorrect. We need to change these misconceptions, because to go through with what somebody goes through at that point, more often than not, they're doing it for the love of other people in their life. They feel a burden. They don't want to put themselves upon other people. So it's not a selfish act, it's a very courageous act, even if though it is the wrong act, because I'm living proof I now live a wonderful life. I'm so blessed and thankful every day that I get up and I have a passion for life, and I'm positive and happy most of the time. So things do get better, things will get better. You just have to have a little faith and a little hope. But we do need to smash the stigma around it. And I know I felt misheard, misunderstood. I felt like a bit of a fraud, and I felt silly. I just felt silly. I wish I hadn't have brought it up because of the reaction that I overheard. And we need to, as a society, I think, change the narrative around mental ill health and suicide, and change the misconceptions and the preconceptions that people have about people that do go through and struggle with mental ill health and suicidal thoughts. So that's my story. It was the start of something great for me, because that low of lows was the start of my recovery, and I, like I say now, I'm very blessed and privileged to live the life that I do. Thanks for listening. Bye.